Yo, welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably been a while since I did one of these kind of videos where I sat down and spoke about something. Usually, everything in my videos is just basically clips of something, full live games, no a commentary such over something. What I'm introducing today is basically a best pro clubs build series, but with a bit of a twist and a bit of a difference. What I generally see for these videos is that people make them and they make pretty generic stuff. There's no reasoning to why they're making it apart from, oh, this will maybe give you the fastest pace, this will maybe give you the fastest starts. They don't actually back it up with any physical evidence why, apart from some goals in small man. So you're basically getting a generic pro clubs build, and that's basically at the end of it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to bring you a pro clubs build from basically one of the top 11-man strikers in pro clubs. This is at the kind of highest end competitive level of pro clubs. 11-man player with a hell of a lot of tournament victories, his own VFL. He's won an absolute ton of trophies on VFL, as I'll show. So basically, I'm introducing Bailey Ince. This is his pro setup here. Basically, what Bailey's done is he's went in to get the 100 matches to get the maximum skill points, which is obviously 110 after 100 matches. He's played 160 matches. His actual stats here don't really mean much to me or to Bailey Ince. Like, we don't care about average match rating. We don't care about how many shots, assists, or goals he's had in small man. It's pretty much irrelevant to us. But for a small man player, this build will obviously work. He has actually got the pretty generic build of 5'6" and 99 pounds, and I think that is the kind of top line for speed. On this FIFA is 5'6". If you're sitting at 5'2" and stuff, you're actually better off to be 5'6". £99 is basically pretty obvious. You obviously want the main kind of stats for that. I do find it pretty ironic that £99 is something like 7.5 stone. But yeah, that's a different matter. So just getting into his actual build, and just showing you what he's got. And he said he sell what he's actually did, is he's got his stuff on. He's got pretty much maxed out full pace. The only one he's not used is the speed and acceleration boost. And obviously that's because it's 4 points. Then on the next one, he's got quite a bit of shooting on this. Is obviously to make him a pretty lethal finisher in front of the goal, which he actually is. But he's known as somebody like with really good skills and stuff, and that leads me on to obviously his dribbling. The only thing he's not used is a balance points there, which is 2 points. But everything else is on in here. Going back to the actual shooting, as you can see here, he's making sure he's got like 5-star weak foot. He's got like the finishing on, shot power, shot focus. He's got some heading accuracy on, but most of it is on weak foot and finishing, making sure that he's got the 5-star weak foot. There's nothing on defensive, and then he puts the end on physical because he's obviously wanting good stamina. I will bring other striker builds to this channel, and they will be based around different kind of strikers, different kind of types, guys that are in the 11-man scene that are basically doing it year after year after year. They're winning tournaments. Just leading on, obviously, with Bailey, and to back up some of the stats on this. And I spoke to Bailey about this. So obviously, I'm reading this now because this is stuff he says to me, and I'm not going to sit and memorise it. But basically, at the time, he'd played 106 games. He hadn't back to any. Over the last two FIFAs, since kind of Bailey's come into 11-man scene, he's won some. He reckons he's won between 10 and 15 trophies at the highest 11-man level. This is in striker. Um, and then the one that really gets me is his record on VFL. His record in VFL is absolutely insane. He's most in a season, he reckons, is between 30 and 35. I could probably back that up after the VFL admin, but it is. He's got a phenomenal goal scoring record. He scored 250 goals over the two FIFAs on the VFL seasons. He's won 25 trophies, which is 3 leagues, 3 Champions Leagues, 1 Europa League, 2 Super Cups, 9 Domestic Cups, 1 World Cup, and 5 individual awards from the World Cup, Team of the Year, and a Ballon d'Or. I mean, it's absolutely crazy stats. He's got 5-star weak skills on because he feels it's obviously part of his play style, and he's got a majority of the skill points on because pace and dribbling suit the meta for this FIFA, which is always running behind, dribbling around the box, and then the rest goes to stamina, so he's got some stamina left in the end of the game. Has his own personal play style that he says is like the kind of creative type. He's got a few skills to create the chance run about the box, like where he'll do the flip flap or like drag back, whatever it is, the meta scoops, whatever he needs to do. And in the attack, he's normally looking for the kind of pass more than a shot. Maybe a creative kind of player, but a creative player that scores a real load of goals. He's originally actually, I believe, a foot champs player as well, so he's came across the foot champs into clubs because obviously he's got pals in that scene. But yeah, Bailey's Bailey's stats are basically absolutely phenomenal. So that is why I picked him as kind of the first guy. He's also, he doesn't team with me, so it makes sense to pick somebody that doesn't team with me and basically show up their stats as to why they're one of the good strikers. And also pick somebody that I personally find quite hard to play against. He's a good opponent to play against, so I've picked Bailey Ince for that. So basically that wraps up the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that the build helps you. What I will say about any builds is it's all personal preference and it's about how you play. So Bailey's build maybe no work for you, but what he's using on his player traits might work for you, but you might be better doing this 5'11". You might be the sort of player that like wins flick-ons, wins headers in the box. So you need to like find that niche for yourself inside the kind of pro clubs. When you're playing the game, you need to find what suits you. And then build your basically pro around that. And that is why I will bring more striker builds, because there is not one generic build that is going to fit everybody, and that's the problem that I see with these videos, is that every single person is just literally sitting there with a one generic build, putting it out, and that's the best pro clubs build. That's not the case at all. Every defender, every midfielder, every striker have got their own unique values that they bring to the game, and that's why you'll get different builds when you go to 11 man. Everybody maybe use the same thing, and they maybe use like centre forward, or they maybe use like if they're a defender, they maybe use wing back, but they use different things. Like some guys will like to use some, they'll like to put some weight onto their pro. Other guys will like to be taller. Other guys will use different skill traits. Other guys will use different skills. So that's what I'll be bringing with these videos, and I'll try and bring quite a few of them on midfielders, strikers, defenders and goalkeeper builds, and I will try and bring them from what are classed as the kind of best 11 man players. So this is, as I said, the kind of top level players that everybody sees on the scene, and this is also why I put a tweet out on my Twitter asking for people who they thought was their best 5, so as I could kind of get an idea of folk that people rate, and then that way I could go in and have a look at the pros and see what other people's doing. Anyway, I did already say this, but that's going to wrap up the video. I would absolutely appreciate it if you would drop a sub on the video, a like on a sub on the channel, a like on the video, and obviously that would be absolutely smashing. I'll see you in the next video, guys, when I do this again. Goodbye.